Who am I if not a risk-taking man? Pedal to the metal. It's literature class, because what this fucking game needed is a cast that's twice as big as a cast that's already too big. Like, between Mr. Kim's and everyone else, like, god dang, this game has too many people. It's sound cliche, but remember, I dismiss you, not the bell. Listen up real quick. Couldn't you have planned your class a little better, buddy? Giant Chapter 10 Food Joe for the weekend. Coming Monday, prepare to talk. You don't want to embarrass yourself when I call up, and most importantly, remember to have a good weekend. And please don't tell me you have exactly 4 classes. I don't want to be reminded of Dancing Towards Tomorrow, but the guy, again, he literally has 4 classes. There's never mention of other classes. Ups and downs, come on. How long has it been? For the last time this Friday. So it's been at least a week. Yeah, 3rd week. Dang, dude. Your parents just sent you some cash already. But at least he's an equal opportunity racist. You know what? At least you're racist to white people. Yeah, I was thinking you were a bad guy. We're gonna be practicing. Replay something. Tricious. Babysit her sister every other day or so. Kind of weird how often she has to babysit her sister. Miss Talia, she's a sweeter. She's like a decade younger than Trisha, I think. Trisha says overwhelming. You have no idea. Why would they both be autistic? What are the odds of that? Actually, now that I think about it, I rarely ever hear about people with multiple autistic children. It's not really a thing I hear too often, so I imagine the odds aren't great. Or they're all secret, because they're like, yeah, I guess that's just what kids are like. All my kids are like this. I guess that's just normal. Your kids are weird. What would it be like if you had multiple autistic children, or only autistic children? I imagine that changes the family dynamic if you compared to having a mixture. Chores. Besides, you guys are practicing. Man, Anna, you fucking suck at denying people the opportunity to pull you into their plans. Rosa's gonna be there. She wouldn't be the only spectator. Why would Rosa make this a better deal? Again, I don't get why so many authors insist on having so many lines. Like this could just be one paragraph, man. I think it's because there's never really an intent to consolidate, but there's also never an intent to shrink things down, you know? Not my first time being in the music room. So we're going to describe it in detail. 2 paragraphs for every fucking room, regardless of how little we do in it. We could be here for 2 fucking seconds. We're going to talk about it. This place gets used that often. Man. Jesus, our pros are basically non-existent, music included. Don't you literally have a fucking choir? Like, didn't Trish fight the choir for this room? I feel like once you have a goddamn choir, there's just no getting around it, buddy. She's pretty proud of it, too. I think this is such a, hard to remember details that Fang does, in fact, know, the music scene. It never really comes up. Some of the gender bullshit on display, too. Listen, Fang, I'm okay with you listening to trash music, but I draw the line at pride flags. Queen Killjoy rests near the back of the case. Why are you like this? Why are you like this, Anon? Why do you have to describe a case like this? Why, at this moment in time, do you feel the need to describe this case? Let me see if I can actually find, a picture of Fang's guitar. I mean, the guitar is easy to find. It's the... Man, that guitar is just... Gets me, man. Gets me. Something about it I don't like. Where's the case? Surely they have a picture of the guitar case itself, right? Like, I know they have the reference picture has, like, the guitar on it. Pray, Bad Blood. And, like, there's the notebook, which I don't think we ever see the notebook cover. Yeah, their bag is the they, them. That bag, you know, I don't know how to put it, but that bag feels like it's desperately trying to be Night in the Woods styled, you know? Have that same don't give a fuck energy. Don't see any good guitar cases. Like, I know Fang's guitar case has to be visible at some point, right? Huh. Thanks, private sticker collection. Queer Killjoy. Man, that's just lame. Ugh. Yeah, this is such a, like, Night in the Woods vibe with the whole, like, sketch pad. Which, again, May doesn't want to keep herself. She does that because Dr. Hank told her to. Which I love that she hates it! Ugh. Man, stop talking about Creature Killjoy. I thought it was Queen Killjoy, which admittedly be cuter. It just flows off the tongue better, okay? I'm very much for the cadence and aesthetics of a word. They, them in the center. I still don't understand why they give so much of a fuck about this. Which, again, I do find a little odd, considering that Fang seems to be way more about the band than anything else. Like, I get that there's some family friction going on, but the whole thing feels mostly irrelevant to the actual plot, which is more about, like, graduation. I'm pretty sure the whole idea is that the boy or girl, right? What the fuck? What's Fang do? They're clearly a woman. This doesn't work in Volcano High because Fang is so flat-chested. It's worth pointing out that you know, Reed also wears a fairly loose shirt and everything, so screams guy to me. Also, again, I'm pretty sure it's just the fucking art not doing the character any favors. Especially if we consider, like, some of the dress-up scenes. But Fang, like, looks like a fucking like a brick at times. I think the reference art communicates the same thing. Not a lot of ass. Not a lot of boob. Not a lot of thighs, either. Like, that's Snoot Game Fang. Also, I never noticed, but the boots are not that black. Oh, man, someone's posting farts. Safi, we're not going to finish this in time for you at this pace. They're clearly a woman. Anon, you can't say this. You can't say this with a straight face as a fucking asshole. If you're an asshole, you're going to say she's clearly a woman. Why are you humoring their pronouns? The thing about their outfit screams guy to me, which is weird to say because, again, like, physical, like, even the reference sheet is not putting emphasis on that. The makeup thing is That's just because you don't hang out in the circles, Anon. Still, that shit, they're flat as a board, but I can still clearly see they have breasts. Anon, fat people have breasts. And Fang is built like a brick in the game because of how the models work. Are they even wearing a binder in the first place? How do you know what a binder is? I paint so much across her sleeve and then thrust into the entire world. Because that's... Anon, you don't understand. They don't even make for a passable faggot, which is a hell of a fucking slam. Also, for a guy who mutters a lot, this feels like a great point to have him actually mutter this stuff out loud and create some nice friction at the first act. I find it very strange that Anon thinks this is the beginning of this chapter and is going to end up with, like, Fang on the background of his computer. It's very weird. Distracted looking at you. I was hypnotized by your guitar case. Such a goddamn dork. I don't know if you can just blend Snoot Game Fang and Goodbye Volcano High Fang. I just don't think you can... I don't think you can just pull that out of a hat. It doesn't work like that. That's what's tough to do. Maybe some other time, yeah. See you tomorrow. Maybe see me tomorrow. Who else than I do to remember? Ugh. Wait, why is Anon bringing this up? Oh wait, this is him talking. Don't do this. Oh god, I'm just getting all mixed up in the wrong way. Yeah, it's Saturday. For some reason, I'm like in the middle of the week. Yeah, it's a Saturday. That's why she's like, hey, you're gonna show. They say, hey, you're gonna show up, right? Anon, please stop confusing me. The fact that you're using the correct pronouns is throwing me off. They'll disappoint of you dipping out afterwards. Just do it to make him happy. Anon's entire social life is show up once to make someone happy, buddy. Who could break Reed's heart? He has a boyfriend! Taking a shortcut. See you later, dude. No, they're Sans. They take that kind of shortcut where it's like, you're cheating, buddy. My clothes used throughout the week and my towels. There's a fair bit of laundry and some dishes piling up in the particular box. Box of unmentionables. Anon, you don't care about your backlog. You're just gonna play the same game as always. I don't like how much this story is trying to emphasize that Anon's a 4chan loser. In Snoot Game, it was the right amount. We got insight into his world. It clearly colored his perception of reality. But it wasn't like every single chapter we're reminded of it, like the author's insecure about the concept. Alright time. Mango remains a pain in the ass. I couldn't relax. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, shit. Did fucking Armored Porcupine write this? Because I know that guy has issues with his tailbone. Poor guy. Please remove this from the mod. The man does not need reminders. Man does not need reminders. Haven't busted or bruised anything. Looks fine. Doesn't feel fine. I'm gonna be sore in the morning. Monster, what the fuck are you doing here after school? I thought you were a good boy. It's just an accident. I just broke my tailbone in 7 different places. Oh, it's the bands that he took away, which because of the... Where in the center of the page should be a dead giveaway. Presumably next year. Would it be this year? We're gonna travel back in time? I forgot when this happens. I'm pretty sure this happened after the summer, so... I like how Anon is trying to help. Ugh. Anon, you don't have a sense of guilt. You're just desperate. Which, again, could work. But I don't think the story... maybe I'm the one who's not paying attention. Like, I feel like you could make a story about someone who, again, is, online. It's like, I'm doing this for the views. But in truth, just kind of yearns for human contact. And when he gets it, he just fucking loses his goddamn mind. I like how we're going into details on this. Now that I now notice this, because you're not paying attention, Anon. Around Dodgers and never relax. Prints off this many posters, let alone for an event that's half a year away. Why would you even think it's anyone else? And you know these people well enough by this point that Fang won't shut up about music. You literally had a whole scene about this. Once we're wrapped up, or soon, speaking of which. At least a quarter of a tree. Because it's a metric buckler's responsibility to put a rest of the recyclables is exactly what we're gonna do. Well, here you go. I'm leaving. Can't click the unwaste paper, but I guess... Anon, why are you even bothering? You've done the thing you're supposed to do. He can carry some paper. He's not a noodle arm. Ugh. Both are nearly as tall as we are. Anon, that's because you're short. Please don't overhype the dump. Jesus Christ, Anon. You're now making your own life more difficult. It's honestly impressive. Okay, we're describing the room, baby! Reusing rooms? Who does that? Have only a few select locations have characters hang out? Who do? Like, the reason you do that partially is to make people more familiar and give a sense of, like, space instead of just constantly going into new rooms. It also means you have to spend less of your fucking breath describing rooms that you will use once. Which is good if you're doing something adventurous, where the whole point is going around, going places, meeting people. Yeah, I'm starting to acclimate. It's because your body is, like, shutting down the liver. You're slowly dying, Anon. Yeah, when are you getting your allowance again? Why can't you buy some damn foob? Shouldn't you be mad at Nasser for, like, hey, you promised me foob. Anon doing some fucking detective work, because that's just how he works. Exactly bad about that. This might be a cafe, but they serve alcohol after a certain time. Which, honestly, it's kind of interesting that Anon did, in fact, get told this in the last chapter. So it at least built up to this in some respects. Not a coincidence at the same time they have live events. Can't advertise a function with booze to high schoolers. That's not uppercase as far as I recall, because it's not a name. It's a designation. It's just a noun. Serrano, something about student rep class. Word comes down on me whenever a student's acting dumb, which is a lot. Definitely doesn't help that I tried texting Fang about it. Like 15 different times, and of course the one day I need them to respond, they aren't checking the phone. I'm not joking, at least 50 times. Why does he feel the need to show you this? I feel like this is a weirdly intimate thing to do to someone. Nasser, you could just tell them. Doesn't pull out during lit. Also, you shouldn't fucking pull out your phone during class, buddy. Shouldn't Nasser say, like, you shouldn't do that anyway? I feel like the proper real Nasser would be like, no, Anon, did you? Making troubles for themselves, and I mean to. Also, shouldn't your literary teacher be, like, extra annoyed by phones? My sibling loves the difference, they can't be so difficult. I like how we're clearly blending the two, and I don't think that works. They are not the same characters. There's no real logical overlap to make this work. There's gonna be a phase or something, and then go away to start bucking against it. I mean, I always had the impression that the family was at least somewhat invested in it, because, you know, I always got the impression that they got some degree of music lessons because they bought the guitar and everything. They're probably involved in those purchases. Fang is not old enough to be buying a guitar on their own quite yet. And they've had a few, I imagine, if they're this good and this practiced. Like, their parents knew about this and got involved. Stop trying to force it out of the way. Fang coming out as a binary didn't help. I can't believe it. I'm okay with you playing shit music, but non-binarism goes too far. My child will not be a loser in two ways. We only accept one. See, Anon's fine. He's just a loser who goes on 4chan. I guess there's video games, but that only counts as half these days, and the anime only counts as a quarter, so I guess he's almost there, but he's fine. Unlike you! You couple! Ever since Fisherman Year, I feel like the world's on my shoulders. I don't really relax. Which honestly has a lot more to do with your parents putting pressure on you than anything else. I haven't seen them in a month, and somehow they're still pressuring me. Oh, this is Anon talking. Again, you're fucking this up, buddy. Like, there's a way to do this that makes it so that this is not up for debate, but you're fucking it up. Did you miss your parents? You want to make out with your parents, Anon? Kind of in a similar boat about how I feel towards Fang, from what you just told me. I don't enjoy them being in a band either. Couldn't be more wrong. I think what they're doing is cool, just not the way they're doing it. mean, there was always kind of the impression that this actually was like the last week shift, and it's something that Fang, over the summer. I didn't think this was something that Nasser be involved with in any capacity, though. Like, I know that he knows, but I don't think he's aware of, like, the stylistic changes and, like, the day-to-day minutia. All Fang focuses all the time, every time. Having worm drama, make it big, is all they think about. Someone's gonna birth whatever, then they go to work. I feel like, again, because of how Kapavakana works, I feel this character should be a little bit more forward about what their emotions are. Which is, writing-wise, a bit lame, but it's how they're written. Banned from high school, something that big, something to brag about. Things just barge in, doing whatever. They can't communicate to save their life, and they just assume the world's going to cater to them. They killed off many opportunities for themselves! I don't like that you added the man. I feel like the problem I have with this is that it's undercutting the emotional note of the line. Just can't win, man. You just can't win. I don't like the man. Again, I feel like this is a big problem with having very casual writing. Having your characters talk very casually in writing can undermine your emotional notes, because this is just an emotional beat. Like, I can see this man sitting there going, I just can't win. Like, the man kind of works to humanize him, but in writing, it doesn't feel the same. Because in conversation, there's a certain cadence that is missing it's very hard to explain. It's all aesthetics that don't matter in the end, but I'm nitpicky about it. Also, it's been a month. In the game, it's implied that this stuff's been building up for like a year. Fix the MIDI controllers and I don't think they're... Man, I don't know, man. So not spongy. And at that point, why are you even writing about them? Half the fun of Kapavakana is that they're spongy. They're spongy people living in a spongy world. I'm just a spongy boy living in spongy Detroit. I can't believe Detroit has gotten so succulent. All my water keeps soaking into the pavement. Dumb question. I've been wondering, you wouldn't mind, what exactly is on with that wing of yours? Very subtle change of topics. He literally asked about the change of topics. This is not subtle. Why are you even implying this? Also, why are we even bringing this up? This doesn't even fucking matter in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure this doesn't really matter. Also, why can't we just go with that it's a birth defect? I always felt like it's just a birth defect because no one actually talks about it. It's a corny backstory, though. Oh, there we go. It's just a birth defect. Again, in the game, I'm pretty sure it's a birth defect. I don't think it ever gets called out or explained, which is really weird. Like, I get the point. It's like, oh, you know, some people are just a little different. But as I mentioned, it doesn't matter. Like, sure, he can't fly, but so can't anyone else in the cast. Fang is like the one person who can fly. So it's really weird that, like, people are making a big deal out of it. If they would make a big deal out of it. Since it's like, oh no! I can't speak to dolphins! And it's like, yeah, I can't either. What are you missing out on? Are dolphins great conversationalists? Technically speaking, it's also crossbreeds. Different kinds of pterosaur. Why is the fucking crossbreeding this specific? Like, the second you're a mudlight, you just stop being competent at things. That's people descended from plains hunters and have feathered wings. Most ghost hunters have leathery wings. Now, I don't want to tell you this, buddy, but you do know that most birds, even the ones that swim in the water, have, like, feathered wings, right? That are, like, hydrophobic and good for swimming. You do know that cormorants are fucking birds, right? Wings are sensitive. Which also got explained last time. They tried to cheat it, but instead I got stretch marks. Nothing life-threatening, but it still hurt. I mean, so you do have a tragic backstory, you dingus. You tell me. You can't. I like that he points it out to him. Not the same. I never had a chance to fly, and folks will report the parts for you. You lost the stuff without a fair comparison. Anna, you have an appendix. Do you even know what it's for? No? Wasn't meant to fly either. Sure, I got the wings. Realistically, by the time I got the upper body checked toward the glide, that would be too out of whack to work. Wasn't in the cards for me. I could be bitter about the opportunity, but what's the point? Most people in the world can't fly either. I like how, again, finally someone points out it's really fucked up to make a big deal out of it at all. I have a disability. I can't talk to dolphins. I really don't fly, I'll get a pilot's license. Also, planes are way cooler. Because if you fly with your wings, you get so tired, but in a plane, you just get to sit behind a little wheel. Also, planes are remarkably stable. Again, I've sat in like a shitty-ass little aircraft, man. It's like you're just sitting on the ground. Except it wobbles a little. I assure you. Go sit in a crappy little hover plane. I like how you're pointing this out when... Like, I get what you're trying to do, but... I feel like, to an extent, you're kind of robbing your reader of this. Am I in a Leo situation? So, this is what I kind of mean with, like, the overlap. Like, Leo, in this context, does have, like, exactly the same fucking problem as NASA, right? Stop doubling down, buddy. What's next? It's gonna turn out that, like, Ree doesn't have his prey senses? His, like, sniffer doesn't work as well? Groundies hype it up way too much. Heroes can't legally fly anymore by the time they're 40, man. 50 if they're lucky. You're trying to be a marathon runner, you gotta keep the health. Actually, goodbye, volcano kind of implies it's not that hard, it's legally just complicated. We can sloppy get the more you're dangerous to others. Say groundy. Got a problem. It's our word after all. Oh. I feel like this moment should break Anon in a weird way. Because Anon doesn't see, you know, because like Anon seems like the kind of person who would take it. He's like, no, I'm not part of them, you know. You just call me the G word, the gamer word, the word for gamers. Anon, you've been saying gamer 3 times by now. You can't say gamer. It's my word. Up I'm gonna kill the gloves. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You can write this in your story a hell of a lot better with a hell of a lot less words. Like, you can just... Listen, you can just have him say, for not putting on the kitty gloves, like everyone else. And then you don't need any of this. Your readers can figure that out with their brains. This is a whole fucking paragraph of wasted space. Like, oh, it's refreshing. Thank you. Yes, that's why you thank him for it. You being bald. I can't believe I'm bald. Oh, we're almost halfway through. Our side has reached a crossroads. It's time for L&L, baby.